Hi, what's up guys? My name is Mr. Vinny, musician, tech entrepreneur, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel, Bevin Optimum Concert. Please, before you go on, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell, be the first to get notified, so anytime we drop a new video, you get it. Because you don't want to miss out on the content of this channel. In our last episode, we talked about things to consider when buying any gadgets, part 1. Today, we want to talk about things to consider when buying any gadgets, part 2. If you've not watched the part 1, the link is in the description section below. You can check it out. So we talked about purpose. If you know why you're buying, then you know what to buy. So today, we want to talk about if you know why you're buying, then you know what to buy. Then now you know how to buy. So if you know why, and you know what, then now you know how. So today we want to talk about things to consider when buying any gadget, part 2. And there's some few things that we want to highlight that you have to know how before you even step in to buy your new gadget that you're planning to. Alright, so the first thing we want to talk about is review. Fortunately for us, a lot of people have experience with the gadget that you are planning to buy. Even from manufactured, even if the first thing that is being manufactured, people have experience with it, people have the ideas about it, people have used it for some couple of time or minutes before, or it's tested, so people actually get to know how it works and everything. So before you even step in to buy a new gadget, or if you're planning to buy a new gadget, you go online, you search about the gadget that you want to buy. There are reviews about it, people's idea, people's experience, what they've experienced with it, the battery, the camera, all the ideas that they think about the gadget is up there. And even if you're not an internet person, you can go to a friend who has experience with the gadget, or maybe someone using the gadget, or you can walk into a shop that has a live dummy of the gadget. So you own it, you check, you go through, you review about it, you see how it works, and then if you're okay with it, then you go in for it. So the first thing we're talking about is review. You have to make sure that you know a lot, you have a fair knowledge about all the things or everything about the gadget that you want to buy before you even step in to buy. Alright, so the second thing we want to talk about is availability of parts. In a part of the world, we have issues with parts. So you have to make sure that the gadgets that you want to get actually have a parts in our part of the world. If it is outside of a part of the world, fine, there are parts all over, you can go back and then get. But here there's a lot of issue when it comes to parts, so you have to make sure that you know the gadget that you want to buy, it has parts available before you even step in, because you don't want to buy a gadget today and tomorrow when it develops a fault, there's no part available for you to fix it. And that means you have to get a different money to get a different gadget, which is waste of money. So you have to research about the gadget that you want to buy. You have to search whether it has parts in this part of the world, because next time that you have an issue, physical damage, something is broken and then you can't fix it, it becomes headache. And I believe that we buy so we can be able to use it for a couple of time or a couple of years before you change it. So you make sure that you know that there's availability of parts in a part of the world. It's unfortunate that most of us think that things that comes from outside of our part of the world are better than things that actually comes to our part of the world. People say that, oh, they have made some kind of gadget for Africa only, so he wants to get something that is made for Europe. Yes, fine, you can get it, but the unfortunate thing that will happen might be that you might not get the parts in this part of the world. So that means when you have an issue, it becomes a big problem for you getting parts in a part of the world. So the next thing we'll talk about is brand. Brand is very important. We know that there are brands that are very authentic and there are brands that, of course, they are not authentic. So you want to make sure that you choose a brand that will actually fit into your purpose, as we talked about. So brand that will actually help you get the best out of your gadget. I'm not here to choose for anybody, but you have to make sure that the brand that you choose actually have a part. So availability of parts actually takes you to branding. So most of the brands are very, very common, and then therefore has a lot of parts in a part of the world. So you have to make sure that this brand is very good. There are brands that are very, very good when it comes to gadgets. When it comes to production of gadgets, they are very good with it. So you have to make sure that, okay, if this is the brand, then very soon, then that means that you have parts that you don't have anything to worry about when it comes to parts. So people say, oh, this brand, oh, there are parts all over. Oh, this brand is good, but if you have an issue, you might not be able to get parts. So you make sure that the brand and then availability of parts actually goes hand in hand. So if you're choosing brand, you make sure that the brand that you're choosing actually goes with availability of parts. And then the brand too, we have authentic brands, so you have to make sure you choose the right brand for whatever that you want to use it for. The last thing I want to talk about is comparison. So we want to talk about comparison. So comparison is it's not actually about just brands, maybe comparing one brand to another, but it's about comparing the gadgets to another, because every gadget comes with a specification: RAM, ROM, processing speed, camera, pixels. So even if you're choosing the same brand, there will be similarities and differences between one model and the other. So that is what comparison actually means. It's not really about brand. Maybe you're choosing a brand like Samsung, or you're choosing a brand like Techno, you're choosing a brand like itel, and then you're comparing itel to not really that. Yes, you can do that, but comparison actually means that comparing one to another, seeing the advantages and disadvantages. Maybe with what you want to do, you've seen a phone or you've seen a gadget that fits into that category, but you want to make sure that maybe there's another alternative that can actually serve better purpose. So that is what you mean. You see your gadget that you want to get, you go for it, you check the specs, you see everything about it, then you compare it to another thing that you even saw that might be kind of changing your mind about the gadget that you want to get. So you check, okay, this one has advantage over this one. What advantage that this one has over this one? What priority does this one have over this one? Camera, battery, anything that you think that is very necessary for your gadgets that you need to get from. So you make sure that you do this comparison before you even go in for your gadget. I believe that everybody wants to get the best out of your gadget. Nobody. It's really, really frustrating when you buy a gadget today and then the following day or in a month you start having issues with it. You are so frustrated. It gets so frustrated. You are doing something, it doesn't work out. Sometimes it's even in a difficult situation, or when you most needed the gadget to work is when it start misbehaving. So you want to make sure that all these things that we talked about, you want to make sure that you go into it. The next time you want to get a gadget, you sit down, you go to search about the gadgets, you compare, you contrast, you do all these things that you're talking about on this channel before you even set out to buy your next gadget. I believe that now gadgets are what is reigning in the world now because of the coronavirus. So you don't want to buy a gadget today and tomorrow you have issues. You want to make sure that you get a gadget that will actually serve a purpose, will actually help you with whatever you want to do with the gadget. So as I always say, that there is no guarantee in these parts of the world, but there is warranty. Warranty covers only manufactured defaults and software issues. Any hardware issue or physical damage is up to you to fix it. So you make sure that any shop that you want to buy from at least have a warranty for you, a warranty to cover the gadget that you are getting. Because if you don't, anytime you have a gadget and then you have an issue with it and you take it back, they won't be able to sort you out. So you make sure that any shop or any office that you get into to buy a gadget, you make sure they have at least a kind of warranty for you. Most of the shops or most of the offices where gadgets have been sold in a part of the world have this rule that says that who sold out are not returnable. Meaning when you buy any gadget from them, you can bring it back and say, oh, I don't like it, I want to top up and buy a different gadget. It's not done. Most of them, they won't allow you, except you have a manufactured problem that they'll be able to sort you out. And even that, if it's beyond them, you have to wait till it's been sorted out before you get back your gadget. That means you're wasting a lot of time in whatever you want to use the gadget for. So when I say warranty, what can you be able to get from them? I mean, when your phone goes off power off. You buy it today, and then the next day, the gadget that just goes off. Even that, some of the offices has to test whether it's a fault from you or it's a manufactured fault before they even sort you out. Most of our shops in this part of the world, they'll do that. Or maybe the gadget is freezing, they'll sort you out. If there's a need for them to change it for you, they change it for you. Maybe, let's say your phone, you're making call, you're not hearing the opponent, or he's not hearing you. Yes, maybe your mouthpiece, your earpiece, all those things are manufactured defaults, which can be sorted out for you. When it falls down and it gets broken, even your mouthpiece and your earpiece, sometimes they'll tell you that water damage, because most of the time, especially with the phones, when you're making calls, you see when you sweat, there's a little kind of sweat that enters the earpiece, which they'll tell you when you take it. They'll tell you it's your fault. It's a physical damage, which means there's a water damage in it. Meanwhile, it might not be an intentional thing, but you still have to go with them. So you make sure that all these things that we've spoken on this channel, you actually take it serious before you even step out to buy a new gadget. If you're planning a new gadget, then this is the place for you to actually listen to all these things before you actually plan on getting a new gadget. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on your post notification button so you get notified anytime we drop a new video. It's your boy VI2NY. Vin!